check it out.
Wow. Check it out, dude. All right. So, what's up, everybody? It's Osten back at you with another episode of the Book of Osten, Life of Detours podcast. So, today I am alone because I've been, there's just been so much going on lately, dude. Like, life has just been kind of crazy, like, just stress. I'll talk about that here in a little bit, but man, just keeping the podcast going, bro. And so I've been having this idea for the solo pod for a long time, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys, and let's just go ahead and get this thing rolling. I did want to take a quick shot, actually, first. Mom said that my pods are better when I don't drink, but she might be right in most cases, but I don't think that's the case on this one. So we're just going to take a shot, and let's go. That's that tequila, son. Woo! All right, now that we're here, I do have a couple of things to announce before we get started. So I do have a live podcast coming up with Dapper Inc. and the Awareness Project. That'll be over in Hearst. We had to switch the date, so it's supposed to be on the 12th, and now it is to be determined, and I will get that to you guys as soon as possible. I'll be blasting on all my social medias and everything that I possibly can, and so will they, and so will all my friends, right? Talking to you guys. So that's coming up. We do have a couple of cool episodes. I've been talking to my buddy Tristan Shelton, a guy that I knew back in high school. We were never very close, but I don't know, dude. I feel like I need to talk to that dude. I feel like he needs to be on the podcast. He seems like he's going to have a good time. I'm going to have a good time, and it's just going to be great. And then my buddy Zach hit me up. You guys remember Zach Sandoval, the wild man, the rave grandpa, the Don himself, and he had the idea, let's go ahead and do the podcast on Friday the 13th in October. And it'd be about 1 year. It's going to be Friday the 13th. We're probably going to do some mushrooms or something, and we're going to get down, dude. So be ready for that one, because that one's going to be a fucking wild trip, guys. It's going to be really cool. So, yeah. So those are pretty much all the announcements that I have. I guess really the main thing that I want to talk to you guys, dude, about is just like life has been just wild lately, dude. It feels like the only thing I have time for nowadays is just being a dad and working. Like, and that's the thing. There, like, being a dad is like my favorite thing, dude. It's so much fun, but it's like it's literally like one thing after another, and it's like I'm either with OC or I'm like in the kitchen cooking for her or cleaning or like changing a diaper or like we're going shopping or like doing some shit that, you know, it's just all dad stuff pretty much all day, every day. And it's just so wild. And then I go to work and I have to be, work is so much different. Like here I'm all secluded, like kind of just hanging out with the baby all the time and like chilling. And sometimes we go to the park and things like that. But whenever I get to work, it's like I'm just like there's just so many people that I have to talk to and remember names and shit like that, dude. And I am terrible with names. I have another podcast that I'm supposed to do with this guy from, he has a photography business and like a couple of other things going on. And he's from Africa. So he has a very interesting name, but I cannot for the life of me remember what it is. And I don't know how to ask him. So if you're listening to the podcast right now, just go ahead and hit me. Just shoot me your name, bro. Because I don't know how to ask you. I've only met you once, so it's not like I should know, but like it's a very interesting name I remember, and I feel like I should remember. So I feel bad. But I mean, what the fuck am I supposed to do, dude? I meet like 20, 30 people, new people, like every day, dude. It's insane. Every time I work, I meet new people, and I try to remember their names, but it's just not going to happen, dude. But yeah, just dad shit lately, man. Yeah, but OC's doing great. She's fucking smart, bro. That little girl is so crazy smart. She's just like running around. She's literally just walking around counting and like using like 1, 2, 3 word sentences here and there. And like fucking, I built her a little ramp for her cars over there. She loves cars. She's very into cars. So every time we go to Kroger, they have these little Hot Wheels for $1. So we just grab a couple of those and we take them home. And she will throw an absolute fit until you open it for her in the store. But so I want to like make her not, you don't want to like spoil her and be like, okay, I'll just fucking open it, you know. But so you got to make her stop and be like, hey, say please. And that's all I really need. You know, we'll open it in the store. I'll pay for it either way. But you just can't be a dick about it, little girl, you know. But I do love you, so there's that. But yeah, I mean, just life's crazy, dude. Yeah, I was looking up stuff about, and that's so. What I had meant to say was, so being a dad is number one. That's happening. Like that's the main thing that I focus on in work. I can do that shit in my sleep, you know. So the main, like the other thing in my life, you know, like my family and everything like that, and then there's the podcast, which is like the best fucking thing. It's so much fun. I can't say it's number one because obviously family comes first, of course. But it's just so much fucking fun, dude. But it's like doing all this dad stuff all the time. I don't really have time to do, or I would have to take myself out of that mode and put myself into a different mode. And I do to like promote the podcast and do things like that and like try and learn and like watch videos and things like that. But it's like the dad stuff just, it wears you out, dude. Yeah. So keeping up with this podcast has not become a chore because it's just something that I love to do. I'm not really getting anything out of this other than, you know, sometimes I'll get some good words. The main reason that I am doing this podcast tonight, actually, and I'm going to give a huge shout out to my dude Bo at work. Bo, he came up to me yesterday while we were working. I was like getting off work, and he was like, "So, Granny's Garage, huh?" I was like, "What the fuck? What do you know about Granny's Garage?" And it's like, "Oh, you know, I just throw it on every once in a while and just laugh at y'all's goofy asses and stuff." And like, dude, that absolutely made my day. I've been kind of down on the podcast. I was going to talk to you guys here in a little bit about like the analytics and stuff, but just seems like life's tough right now. People, I don't know if people just aren't listening to the podcast. My people in particular just aren't, you know, they don't have the time for it. But it's kind of been down lately. And so that kind of sucks whenever you go to like promote it or something like that, and the first thing you open up and see is that you only had 2 people fucking watch it, or you haven't had a single person watch in like the last week or something like that. But sometimes you just get those little nuggets, man. And sometimes you'll just have like a couple of people will watch, and like that'll make you feel good. Or fucking your buddy Bo at work will hit you up and be like, "Hey man, I rock with your shit, bro." And it changes the whole game, and it kind of gives you that little bit of a boost. And I say it all the time in my posts and stuff like that. It's like I do this mainly for myself because it's fun, and it's like it's a great hobby to have, I think, and I'm actually learning a lot from it, and I get to interact with a lot of people and stuff. But I do it a lot for you guys, dude. Like I don't think, like I wouldn't want to stop doing it and then those, you know, 10, 20, 30 people that are fairly regular to the podcast just don't have that anymore, you know, and it's something that I get to leave behind and stuff. So there's a lot of reasons why I do it. It's a very fun thing. And so, you know, I'm just going to keep on keeping on. Life's a garden. You got to dig it, buddy. My buddy, Joseph Deertate told me that, and I will live by that probably until I die. Just keep on keeping on, man. Life's a garden. That's right. But yeah, so I was watching a bunch of videos last night about how to get your first 10,000 downloads or whatever the fuck on Spotify or on your podcast, and like what hosting programs are the best and stuff like that. And I actually tried one last night, and it was absolutely atrocious. I'm not going to name it because I'm not going to talk shit, but it was just absolutely awful. It was impossible to use, and like I was trying to transport my podcast from Anchor, which I use currently, and it's super, super easy to use, to that one that is just a nightmare. But the main attraction to these hosting programs is that they have their own apps, which have, you know, hundreds of thousands of people that listen to podcasts just using that. So it's basically like having another avenue for your podcast to go out rather than, you know, Spotify, YouTube, all that stuff. You have like Buzzsprout and Podbean and all this other stuff where some people just have those apps. This is what they use for their podcasts. And if you're not paying for the subscription, you are not on there. But I already have like 12 places for you to watch it. So you could just get on YouTube and go watch that bitch, bro. But so I was looking up these videos, and there was one, it was about how to get your first like 10,000 downloads or whatever. And it basically said, before you can ever start, whenever you start the podcast, your main thing is you're just going to have to bleed the people around you for as many views and as much help as you can, you know, and you want to get up to like 400 or 500 views on every episode or something, and I have not gotten anywhere close to that. And it's not, I mean, I just don't, the thing I wrote down here was, I don't think I know enough people to make a crazy successful podcast. And maybe I do. Like, I mean, if I reached out to every person I know and every person that I have ever known, I might be able to get to like 500 something people, you know? And then of those people, fucking 50 are going to watch it, you know, because just, that's how people are, dude. I give out cards all day, every day. I fucking do posts like 3-4 times a week, and still this is where we're at. So it's like people see it, people don't do anything with it. But so that's kind of where because I mean, obviously I would love to make money doing this. This is what I would love to do for fucking work. But that's just I don't know that that's going to be in the cards for me, man, unless something changes, unless I can figure something out, or somebody knows something that I don't, or maybe I need like a manager or a fucking promotion like a promotion deal or something like that. I don't know. I don't know shit about this stuff, dude. So, yeah, I don't know. That's just where we're headed. And I think I'm just going to keep on doing it, man, just for the, 10, 20, 30 people that are my regular viewers that love me and I love you guys, and I make it for you, you know? So if you are among that very select group, you're obviously listening right now, so everybody else, won't hear this, but I love you, okay? You're doing a great job. You have a very, very nice ass, and you're going to grow up to do great things in your life, and I don't know what else, just all the good things for you, So yeah, that's enough about that. Well, I guess I could talk a little bit more about the podcast. I was just kind of looking over, analytics and stuff like that. And like I say, everything's kind of just slowing down. But like my audience size is 11 right now, which is not the lowest it's ever been, but it's fairly low for what it's supposed to be. And then my last couple episodes just don't have a lot of plays and stuff. And like then you start going back here, you can just see them like steadily increasing, and it goes up further than that. So I think people are just kind of losing interest. I don't know what to do about it. But yeah, and then but also I started splitting all of my views between YouTube and Anchor. So like all my first videos were only on Anchor, Spotify for podcasters as it's called now. Now it's all split. So this doesn't look like a lot, but it's probably, there's probably that much on the other app, so it looks like it should be more, basically. And like it's still nothing crazy, but 14 is better than 7, you know what I mean? So there's that. But yeah, I guess that's really enough about the fucking analytics. I don't think any of you guys care. Of the people that care, that actually watch, I would say none of you guys actually give a shit about the analytics and stuff like that. So I won't bore you with it, But another thing, so whenever I went to go do this podcast, I'd been having this idea here lately. So I don't know if you guys remember, or if you had even listened or were paying attention at all, but I had started doing stand-up just a little bit here and there. I think I've only done like 3 or 4 sets, but it's very fun. But it's kind of like, it's a lot like doing this solo podcast. So whenever I sit down here and I hit that red button over there, everything shoots out of my head. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just kind of winging it at this point, because that's how my podcast has always been. It's just like a free flow. And so whenever you get up on stage and I have jokes. I have like a whole little list in my phone of jokes. And whenever you get up there, everything just leaves your head. You can kind of pull a premise, but you won't remember the entire joke. And like a joke being, they have a format, and there's a way that you're supposed to say these things to make them funny, because it's just a premise, it's just an idea. The way that you tell it is what makes it funny. And that's kind of the art of the whole thing. Sorry, I bet that noise was just awful for you guys. But I'm going to take another shot here in a second, so I figured I might as well go ahead and pour it. But I realized as I was going to these things, I'm just not really that big of like a huge energy kind of a person, I'm not the fucking hype man. I don't think I've ever really been that guy, I'm more of like a silent fucking pretty good at a few things kind of guy, you know what I mean? So I'm not really like the big loud, like, we can do this, or I'm going to make it to where we do this, or like whatever the fuck. That's just not really been me, or like the loudest guy at the party, or like I don't know. These guys, and it's like, maybe some parts of it are drugs. I will say that there are a few of them that I don't even really have to assume they were on drugs. They would just tell you while they were on stage. So there's that. And not to say that doing drugs is bad. Everybody does them. Fuck you. But that's just not really me. So I wanted to take these premises that I had and I had written these jokes for and use them in the medium that I enjoy, this long form talk, where I can just sit here and just talk about these goofy ass things that I think about sometimes that would actually make very good premises for jokes if I could get up on the stage and tell them that way. That would be awesome. And maybe this will help, or maybe just practice, I guess. I'm probably going to keep doing it. I just need to find some time. Like I said, things have just been fucking wild lately. So I just have a couple of those written down, just a few things I would like to talk to you guys about. I was driving, right? And I don't know if you guys have ever chewed nicotine gum, but I like it. I like it as an alternative to smoking and an alternative to vaping, because vaping is the fucking big one, bro. I don't know what it is about this thing, but it hooks you, dude. You are just on it, bro. And so I quit vaping for a while. I think I've already probably talked about this, but I quit vaping for a couple of months, and then I kind of do this at home, but I only do the gum at work now and stuff like that, and I'll substitute gum like in the morning and stuff like that instead of having the vape on me. But I was trying to drive, and I was also trying to open this piece of nicotine gum, and this shit, like, it is like, I think I have some around here. Hold on, give me a second. Yeah. This fucking bullshit. They made it like it's a medicine, so it's like got the you got to rip it off the thing there, and then you have like a little film or like a little paper that goes over the top, and then you have like a, what do you call it, like an aluminum film over it too. So, and all of these edges are super sharp, and you have to like pick the edge to like get the thing up, and it's fucking tedious is what it is, dude. So basically, the thought that popped up to me was like, if I have to use a knife to like get the nicotine that I need when I'm already frustrated, I'm just gonna stab somebody and make myself feel better. You know what I mean? Like, I'll just get my fucking anger out in a different way. This is gonna, like, that'll be way faster, and I don't have to dick around with this bullshit while I'm driving, dude. I'll just fucking, get somebody, bro. Then I'll feel way better. Yeah. So turn that somehow into a stand-up bit, and I had it written out, and I really liked the way that it was, but you have to tell it in that exact way is the thing. So, and you're on the spot. Whenever I went up, I think I had 6 minutes, or something like that, which is not as long as you would think, but it is way longer than you think at the same time. It's rough is what it is. But so that's where that part came from. And then that kind of led me to thinking about how much I kind of miss cigarettes, bro. Like, cigarettes were they're the most like on the nose. Like there's a reason people did that. You know what I mean? Because it really does satisfy a craving. I never understood the people that could get to like 2 packs a day or whatever. I think the most I ever smoked whenever I used to smoke was probably like 5 to 10 somewhere a day. And I couldn't be a guy with one just in my hand all the time. But whenever you do need one, they get the fucking job done every single time. And also, it was like a social thing, dude. That was like how I met people in college and stuff like that. Like, I would walk over to the little smoking spot, and there'd be, 10, 20 people out there. And that was whenever they were already starting this whole campaign against smoking. And it is horrible for you. I wish that they made just a cigarette that did the same thing. It had the same effect, but it didn't fucking cause cancer and all that other stuff that it causes, man, because it is just so relaxing, man. I miss it. I always said, man, smoking in the house is a lost art. It's just so chill. Just so chill, being able to just sit on your own couch with a cigarette and just be calm. You know what I mean? It really is the best. People that still do it, you stick to your guns, I fucking applaud you, bro, because it is one of the best feelings that you'll ever have. Smoking a cigarette on the toilet, it's right up there, dude. That shit is very, very nice. They're sitting just sitting out on the back porch with a cigarette and a cup of coffee, dude. Oh, man. Like my buddy Dexter, we used to sit outside his house and we'd have a cup of hot chocolate and we'd have fucking a Marlboro Black. And we'd just sit out there and we'd smoke, bro. And it was like some of the best feeling. God, it was so good, dude. But I miss that. I miss like that being some kind of a social time, you know? Whenever, like before I started like bartending and stuff, like I was, you know, there's not a lot of social interactions that you get. You know, I used to just kind of sit in my dorm most of the time and shit. And that was kind of my social time and I miss it. But fucking now, I literally just kind of avoid social interaction, except for, you know, the podcast and stuff. So it's like I go to work, I fucking blow out my my social meter, and then I come home and I just chill with my family. And then, you know, once a week, I'll hit up somebody and be like, hey, man, come here, just sit down and talk with me. And you don't understand how hard it is to just get somebody to do that, you know? Or to even do it like over Zoom or something like that. Like everybody has their own schedules. Everybody has their own things, you know. God forbid, like you try and hit somebody up that's got shit going on, dude. Like it's impossible it's so hard to get people on here. Like that's what people don't understand about doing a weekly podcast. It's like I have to have somebody ready. I try to do it weeks in advance, and I'm actually behind right now, so I'm like scheduling stuff out. And so that's another facet of doing the podcast, is just sitting down and planning this thing out just so that I have content to put out for you guys, and meaningful content, not just, you know, just throwing together a solo podcast, you know, here and there, or, you know, just fucking, I don't know, just doing extra of something else, or not having one that week sucks, dude. I hate whenever that happens. That's like the worst feeling. I always feel bad whenever that happens. It's only happened a couple of times, but it sucks every single time that it happens. So, yeah. And then I was on the same, I digress, guys. But on that same note, I was driving home from work the other day, and I was sitting in my car, and I looked over to the left of me, or to the right of me, and there was a girl. I was putting my vape up to my mouth, and she was putting her vape up to her mouth. And I was thinking about just how much these have just permeated society, dude. Like almost everybody I know smokes these. It's insane. Like almost everybody has one of these. Like even Logan does it now, dude. And, well, I mean, he works at a fucking vape shop, so it obviously makes sense. But it's wild just how many people have. Everybody at work has one. People at the bar can't not hit them. Like you're not supposed to smoke them inside the restaurant I work at. And they just can't help themselves. Like it's literally just such a habit. They'll just be sitting there, they'll, you know, be drinking, hanging out and stuff, and then all of a sudden they'll just hit it again. And you're like, dude, don't, like, I always just say, just don't let the manager see you, because they're gonna have a problem with it. Like, I don't give a fuck, but I'm not getting in trouble over your bitch ass, so I'm gonna say this now, and whenever they come around, I'm gonna tell them that I told you, you know, and then it's on you, bro. So good luck with that. But it's just crazy how much it has just gotten all the way into society. Everybody's on it, dude. I love Theo Vaughn's podcast, and he talks about him all the time. He's talking about how hard it is to stay away from it, and how much you don't even really like them, dude. It was kind of the same way whenever I was smoking cigarettes. It's like you get to a point where you're like, dude, these are actually gross, but they do the job, and it's nice. And these aren't even gross. That's the main thing. Like these don't even usually, unless they're bad or something, they don't really leave like a bad taste in your mouth or anything like that. So, and you can just do them inside. Most places, you shouldn't be doing them around kids and stuff like that. But, and it's like it's like having a cigarette that's always lit. That's what I've always said. It's like having a cigarette that's always lit, that I can just take as many puffs as I want out of it. That was the thing about a cigarette, was like, you kind of want to just smoke the whole cigarette. Putting out a half a cigarette stinks like shit. Whenever you start smoking it again, it's not going to taste as good as it did the first time and stuff. So it's like, kind of want to just do the whole fucking cigarette. And that's just how so that's how the vapes are. Like you can just have a couple of hits, you know. I can just be like, you know, I just need a little take the edge off here. Just and so that's nice. But now I could do that every 30 seconds if I wanted to. all day, every day. I wouldn't even have to stop to light the motherfucker, dude. You do have to stop to charge it and stuff like that, and these little disposables you have to throw away. You know, Logan's job actually does recycle them. I think they will take the ones that you've used, and you actually get a discount if you bring your old one in, and I think they recycle them or something. Logan keeps all his. He always has like fucking 30 vapes in that thing. But, yeah, it's just, they're just so fucking addictive, dude. It's crazy. Been doing these for like 5 or 6 years now, I think, or some shit like that. Now that I think about it, it's crazy. Longer than that. Damn. What was I, like 19, 20 probably whenever I started? I'm 27, guys. I'm getting old out here, dude. Golly. Yeah, but that's enough about cigarettes. Fuck a cigarette, dude. They're bad for you. And every time I smoke one now, I immediately, it's like, I'm gonna equate it to something way worse, but it's like whenever you, like, I don't know if any of y'all have ever done cocaine, but I've done it. I used to do it, you know, a little bit here and there, and then now I don't do that shit. I haven't done it in a long time. But it's like every once in a while, like whenever I had already stopped and stuff, like somebody would offer you something, you're like, oh, why not? And then you'll do it, and you're like, oh shit, that's why not, because it sucks, bro. You wake up, your fucking nose is all jacked up, your throat's fucked up, you're tired as shit because you probably stayed up till like 6 in the morning for no reason, you know? A cigarette is obviously not anywhere near that. It's just, you know, you taste it and you're like, oh, that's why I don't smoke these anymore. But yeah. I don't know how the fuck I just went off on that. But yeah, another thing I wanted to talk about was I was telling my buddy Rory Sellers up at Boomers, man. He is one of the best regulars you could possibly have. He is so fucking cool. He's a veteran. He served he was in Germany for a good long while, so he always talks about the beer over there and stuff like that, and like just how cool it was, and like he's just one of the funniest dudes I've ever met, and he has like the radio voice. Like I can't even mimic it. It's just that good. But I was talking to him about it. I was like, hey, like I don't know if I told you, but I started doing a little bit of stand-up here and there and all this stuff. And he's like, oh, man, I got jokes for you all day, bro. So he told me a couple of them, and I was like, this one is just, I feel like this is a classic. I don't know if somebody has this. I feel like I should look this up somehow and just make sure before I ever try to tell it. But it's like a police dog can't tell you that I have weed in my car. And then it's like, you want to know why? Because he doesn't speak English. That's a German Shepherd. You don't speak German. That motherfucker's trying to snitch on me. But I don't. So it's like, that's a goofy joke. It's so goofy that like you would have to really lean into it to make it funny. Otherwise, you're like, it seems like you're just telling a bit. You know, like it's such a bit that you have to make it not seem like a bit somehow, I feel like. So that is where the challenge lies, and that's why I raised this particular glass right here to all those comedians out there fucking doing it, bro, because it is a lot more work than I would have ever thought, and I'm happy for you guys. So, cheers. Oh, yeah, dude. Whew. Oh, yeah, it's also trying to write a bit about liquid death. How fucking carbonated it is, like the big ass burp you get whenever you're done drinking it. That's the sound of liquid death murdering your thirst. So that's what I need to get that one down as a bit. That one sounds funny to me. Yeah. But yeah, and then we the same day. So it was the day that Rory had come in after he was doing something important. It was a morning. He almost never comes in the morning, but he came in. He was wearing a black suit, all black. He's wearing a black suit with a black tie and everything. And he was just talking about his John Wick looking ass, you know. He said, and then so we were sitting there like making all these John Wick jokes, just fucking around. And then somebody calls up there talking about, I left my debit card up there. Can you take a look and see if it's in the back? And I was like, well, what's the name on the card? And they were like, John. And I was like, or they said John. It wasn't me that was on the phone, but they were like, oh, it's John. And we were like, John Wick? And then we were thinking about, dude, like, what if you're at the bar? John Wick would never leave his card, but if he did, you better believe he's about to get that fucking card back, bro. You better get that thing as far away from you as possible, dude. Give that shit to a manager and have them find him if they possibly just get it out of there, bro, because he is coming for it, dude. It's not going to work out for anybody. Don't try and hide it from him. Don't act like you didn't find it. Just say, I found it. Here, just take it. Just take it. Don't get scared. Just give him the fucking card, okay? Because he will murder everybody around you, bro. God forbid you fuck with his dog, dude. It's not a good scene. It's like Liam Neeson and his daughter, bro. Don't mess around. Don't mess around. He has a very particular set of skills that make him a nightmare for people like us, you know? Yeah, that was just literally, that's just the banter that happens behind the bar, dude. It's fun as hell, dude. And another one, this is something that I've wanted to talk about for a long time. And I've told so many people this. I had a buddy not too long ago ask me, he put it so elegantly. He said, bro, have you started a body count up here at work yet? I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, you know, the boomer girls, bro. Like, you gone through any of it and stuff like that? And I was like, bro, that sounds awful, first off. And then I told him what I tell everybody when they ask me. I've had it asked multiple times. They're like, how do you work around girls like this and stuff like that? And they're like, man, if I worked here, I wouldn't be able to focus on work and all this stuff. And they're like, how do you keep from, you know, just banging everybody or something like that, or like it's vulgar. It's just dudes talking at the bar. I'm not naming any names because it is gross. Dudes are gross, okay? But I always tell people the same thing, dude. No, I am not going to fuck around at work, and here's why. When you're asking me this shit, more often than not, it's probably like a Friday night or a Saturday night. These girls are all done up, bro. Like, that's what they do. They know what they're doing. They're there to fucking sell it, bro, and you bought it. And so I get to see these girls on like a fucking Thursday morning shift or like a Wednesday or like a Monday night shift that they don't give a shit about. And they come in, they don't have any fucking makeup on, dude, and like they are in the worst moods. You'll never hear worse cuss words and like insults and just bitching from a fucking girl in the service industry, dude. Those girls have mouths like sailors, horrible attitudes, and it comes with it, bro, because people wear on you, dude. It is insane what they and I have to deal with. They have to deal with more than I do, is the thing about it, because like I said, there's people asking how they can fuck them, basically, all the time. Everybody's trying to do it, and it's fucking gross is what it is. But, yeah, I had this whole bit written all about it, and it was talking about, yeah, they look real good on a Friday night, but you never seen Scary Mary whenever she comes in on a fucking Tuesday, and they have to send her home to go put on fucking makeup because it's just not going to work out, bro. That is actually a real thing that happened. A girl did get sent home because she didn't have any makeup on, and she looks like a totally different person, dude. I don't know if y'all have ever seen some of the videos of these girls whenever they take their makeup off, or some of these videos are like they're taking like a full mess. They're like grabbing under their chin and like peeling shit and like pulling like this whole thing out. Their hair comes off with it and everything, dude, and then there's a skeleton under there. And it's gross. And on top of that, they got a fucking bra with titties already in them. They got these pants that already have shit in them pushing up, and like they're fucking, they got like a vice grip around their waists and stuff like that, dude. You have to be careful out there, dude. And I am not going to I think the punchline of my joke was, I'm not going to let a Friday night glow up get me or something like that, dude. It's just, you see too much, man. Like, you can't see that little fucking chin hair that this girl's got from across the bar in the dim light, but I can see it when we go in the back and fucking start counting our money. And she's fucking slurring and fucking cussing everybody out, dude. It's just, yeah. You see a different side of these girls, man, and you don't want it, bro. Most of the time. They are sweet girls. Get them away from work if you want to try and date them or something like that, or whatever the fuck you're trying to do. But I don't know. It's not for me. Never has been. I mean, having said that, back in my day, you know, there were a few occasions where I got down. But it's none of your fucking business. No, I'm just kidding. I'll tell you if you ask, but... Oh, no. Oh, I forgot you guys aren't here. Ha-ha! Yeah. And then, so I was thinking about that one, and then this led me to the last story I'll tell you guys before I let you go, because I was just going to try and do like a little short podcast for you guys, because I know I'd be dragging on out here. But kind of on that same note, Cece, if you're listening, You told me this story, and it is one of the funniest fucking stories. She was at a bar after work, like it had nothing to do with work or something. I don't remember. But she was at a bar, and there was a guy next to her, and he wouldn't leave her alone. And she's a cute little black girl, like just cute as can possibly be, dude. But he offered her $500 to suck on her toes. I don't know how he came around to that. I think he'd been being kind of creepy the whole time, and like was like trying to hit on her and shit. And then that was what he wanted. That's where the fucking cookie crumbled to, man. That was the end game for this guy, was sucking on them toes, buddy. And he had $500 ready to go for it. And she told me about that, and I was like, well, did you do it? And she's like, no. And I was like, well, I would have fucking done it. But it's different, you know? It is definitely different for dudes. But I mean, $500 is $500. I mean, obviously, you're not gonna like you're not touching my wee-wee, bro. Nothing like that. Stay away from my butthole. Not kissing you for sure. But I mean, if you want to suck it, I get to pick the toe. And we're doing it right here. I'm not going to your place. You're not coming to fucking my place. We're going to do that shit right here. Give me $500. Suck on that one with the yellow shit on it. And that's all you get. Okay? Yeah. That's gross. Man, dudes are fucking gross, bro. I don't know about them, dude. That's the world we live in, though. There are guys out there offering poor little girls $500 to suck on their toes. And I brought a fucking baby into this world. A little girl at that. Oh, man. We're fucked. But yeah, guys. So I honestly feel a lot better having just kind of sat and talked to you. It's weird not having you here, you know. One of these days, come to my live show. Come to the live show. Come to the fucking live show. I will be blasting that on everything. Get ready. It's going to be awesome. I would love to have you guys in there just to ask questions or to even hop up. You can have a fucking beer with me. I'll do a shotgun contest with anybody that hops up on that fucking stage. That is a guarantee. That is a promise is what it is. If you hop up on that stage and you want a fucking shotgun contest, let's go. Or a chug or whatever the fuck you want to do. Let's go. I'll do it with you. But it'll be nice to be able to just see you guys, get a little reaction, or maybe even be able to talk to you guys. So come to the live show, and we will interact and have a very good time. And it won't be me just kind of sitting here talking in a completely, like, watch, if I stop talking, that is actual dead silence. And that's what I'm dealing with right now. I'm literally just talking to myself, but I'm kind of talking to you guys. Does that make me a psycho? Probably. But, you know, all the best people are, so it's all good. Yeah. But that's all I had for you guys. We do have a bunch of cool stuff coming up, so if you're here right now, I love you, and you are doing a great job. And just keep up with the fucking detours, bro, and go live your own detours. Go do your own thing, man. Find what it is that you want to do. I want to do this podcast. That's what I want to do. It's going to be fun. I will do everything around it to make it to where I can, you know, and I'll make sure that my family's taken care of. I have what money I need, and I will continue to talk to my people that ride with me, and that is you guys. So, peace out. You guys are beautiful, and I will see you later on the next one. Osten is out.